Pilates is a legacy, okay? People have worked generations to preserve this method of exercise. Nothing about Pilates is giving cheap.
Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amomi aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are discussing Pilates by Raven. Now this video is all about a controversial statement that she made recently about Pilates. Now Raven is, I believe, a reality TV star. She was on Love is Blind and she's also a Pilates instructor. So she made some statement that got a lot of people talking. Now, in this video, we're going to check out what she said, what people said about the statement, her apology when she got a lot of clapback and backlash, and what people also think about her apology. Then I will come back to share my own thoughts. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, then you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now let's get into this video.
It's gonna be an extremely hot take for my Pilates girls. I've seen a lot of commentary surrounding Pilates and proximity to whiteness, as well as disrupting the Pilates space in order to create more diversity and inclusivity. As someone whose entire purpose of my business, my brand goals is about providing accessible and affordable Pilates to a diverse demographic of women. That is what I started all of this on, so let's talk about it. What are some words that you think about when you think of like a really nice designer brand? I think of legacy, think about craftsmanship. I know a lot of the products are probably like handmade. People check them over and over again to make sure the quality is there, okay? The design is there, and that's why we pay top dollar, we pay our top coins for these designer items, right? Like you would never walk into Bottega and be like, where's the diversity? Where's the accessibility? Babe, there is no accessibility. This is Bottega, okay? I want you to think the same way about Pilates. And I know a lot of us who've just gotten into this, or maybe we're new instructors, we haven't been trained. Pilates is a legacy, okay? People have worked generations to preserve this method of exercise. Even just training an instructor classically through a good program takes 500 hours minimum, okay? Nothing about Pilates is giving cheap. That's why things like Legree and Solid Core are more successful, right? They took away a little bit of the craftsmanship of the reformer and turned it into a megaformer. Now hire a little bit less experience in training out of instructors. That's okay because now more people can do it, all right? And just to be clear, I am all for the accessibility of Pilates, but I do want some of the Pilates newbies to think a little bit more critically before we come on here talking about, oh, okay. I want to address what I said in my previous video. I'll start by saying classism, elitism, or anything adding to the larger conversation of like exclusion in wellness or fitness is unacceptable. Hindsight is always 2020, and I see how my words contributed to that narrative. And even though that wasn't my intention, I know that intention doesn't erase impact. But my mission has always been to share my passion for Pilates and wellness with as many people as possible, specifically women. Like, I care about women and everyone else too, but I really care about supporting women. If I made you feel like Pilates wasn't for you, I have literally failed at my entire mission and let y'all down. Honestly, being a Black instructor in this space is what motivates me to consistently perfect my craft, to make the best possible product that I can, and to try to get the Pilates word out there with as little barriers as possible. However, creating accessibility is about more than content. It's also about culture, words, nuance, actions, and I missed the mark. This is definitely not a woe is me video. I have always been collaborative, open to feedback. I want to have a conversation. Like, I'm an Aries. I love to shoot the shit. I want to be better. I want to serve my community better. And really, I just want better for this wellness space in general. And from some of the discourse that I'm seeing on here about my video, I really think that this could be the start of a positive and needle moving conversation that hopefully can forge a new standard. I really believe we as women, as people of color, can create something better than what has existed before. And that was really the heart of my message. I thank you for holding me accountable and giving me the chance to gather feedback and move forward and go even harder. Let me reintroduce myself. My name's Raven. I teach Pilates and I provide free and affordable studio quality workouts. And I create brand new workouts every single week and I put them on YouTube for free. I'm also the founder of a Pilates community of women who work out from home. And it's so fun. My workouts are approachable for many levels and welcoming for everyone. And everything is free or well under $50. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to all of the Black and brown instructors that I found through this discourse. So put yourself out there in the comments. Let us know who you are. Let us know where your classes are. Let us know how we can support you and create even more community. I would love to continue this conversation, especially with other instructors of color, to keep making a change. So please make yourself known, tag yourself,
Okay.
and I'll see everyone else on the mat.
Okay, so we've seen exactly what she said in the first video and we've seen her apology video. Now, the two videos that I just featured were not taken from her page because I believe she has deleted it because she got a lot of backlash for both videos. So let's check out what people have to say about what she said in the first and second video, and then I'll come back to share my thoughts.
The reason fat people stay fat is because they're scared of women like this, telling you that exercise is exclusive, it's not diverse, it's limited to a certain type of person. That is so against my ethics and my morals and my values as a fat loss coach. When I first started my weight loss journey, I went and tried every single cardio that I could find until I found something that I really loved. And the reason I didn't start sooner is because I was scared of being judged. A lot of fat people, including me who was once fat, was scared of the judgment and humiliation that you feel when you go to exercise classes and you feel like you don't fit in. Unfortunately, comparing Pilates to going to Bottega and getting a bag that is exclusive and not accessible to the average person is very damaging to people who want to get into fitness. It scares them and makes them not want to try anything, and it makes them want to stay in their ways because usually the body positivity community and people who champion being bigger are more accepting than people who are obsessed with exercise. I just want to let you know that there is a middle ground of people like me who is a fat loss coach who loves a takeaway and also loves exercise, that understands exercise is free and accessible to anyone. It is not exclusive to want to work out. Walking is free, doing YouTube home workouts is free. My guide has all free information in there for you. There is no such thing as exclusivity in exercise. Maybe an exercise class, but she missed the mark with this.
Nothing about Pilates is giving cheap.
Oh my god, you guys, I did the equivalent of 2 or 3 months of a full-time job and I'm literally shaking. No, because if you're not making at least $500,000 a year, you're not allowed to do a side plank.
Where's the accessibility? Babe, there is no accessibility. This is Bottega, okay? I want you to think the same way about Pilates.
Body by Raven Pilates is currently under fire because she made a video in which she states that the reason why Pilates is not diverse is due to the fact that it is a high-end product. And she goes on in the video to compare Pilates to Bottega Veneta, which is a designer brand, and she says that you wouldn't walk into Bottega Veneta and ask, where's the diversity, where's the accessibility, because it's Bottega. And a lot of people are really upset with her for saying this, because she is essentially in her video equating cheap with diversity and affordability with more access and more people being able to do Pilates. My 2 cents on this is what happened to yoga is now what is happening to Pilates. I just learned that Pilates was invented by Joseph Pilates, who created it in prison. Let that sink in.
Like, you would never walk into Bottega and be like, where's the diversity? Where's the accessibility? Babe, there is no accessibility. This is Bottega, okay? I want you to think the same way about Pilates.
Pilates is literally for everybody. Pilates was invented during World War I by a prisoner of war. Joseph Pilates is turning in his grave right now, as this man was the one busting it right open and literally creating the most accessible exercise known to man. During World War I, Pilates was actually invented by Joseph Pilates after observing such poor physical and mental health of the prisoners. Joseph Pilates was interned in a prison of war camp, and he's like, I'm gonna turn you guys into bad bitches. He used these bed strings and other makeshift equipment to create Pilates, which led the foundation for the Pilates equipment that you see today, to create the exercises that we now know as Pilates. The core principal ethos of Pilates is literally inclusivity and accessibility. It was his mission to heal the disabled, sick, and injured soldiers. He actually was observing cats in the prison, which is the cutest thing ever, and that was part of the inspiration behind his invention of Pilates, because he saw their intuitive stretching movements and mobility, and it really inspired him to create the movements that we see in Pilates today. This baddie is rolling in his grave right now.
It's true what they say. If you let somebody talk long enough, they will shoot themselves in the foot, and I fear that's what Pilates Body Raven just did. Like, I don't surprise easily, but I am rather surprised that she would say something like that. She's discussing inclusivity and diversity in the Pilates space and comparing it to Bottega. At this point, I'm just waiting to see if her follower count starts to drop, because she may have just lost a lot of black women. So if you haven't seen what she said, go check it out. I saw somebody else responding to it and made me go look, and wow.
So I think it's really important to remember that Pilates by Raven, the reason why everybody knows who she is because she was on Love is Blind. If you haven't seen her extremely bad take on Pilates, I'm lesser than, though. I'm a Legree girl. I do Legree, so I guess I don't have the ability to speak on this take. I found this article from June where they're talking to her about getting certified to become a Pilates instructor. It gives exactly the kind of energy that you would think that it would give. So she's talking about how her training was like 10 grand, and like, that's a lot of money. Okay. That's a lot of money too. And that is a barrier to entry for anybody who wants to become a Pilates instructor. But then she goes, and I was like, am I in med school? Baby, please. And I'm not saying this with the perspective that I think that like $10,000 or 500 hours is not a lot of work and is not a lot of money. But when she's like, am I in med school? I was like, oh, it's so clear to me that you like how you perceive the training that you've done as what justifies that take. But I just wanted to like remind that most folks wouldn't have even ever seen that video if she hadn't been on Love is Blind and people hadn't found her channel and all of that stuff and subscribed to her YouTube channel. Go read this article, because it also talks about how she was like, yeah, I didn't really have any followers before I was on Love is Blind. And it's like, baby, yeah, we know.
I want to address what I said in my previous video.
I think one of the fundamental things about an apology is that an apology has to be felt as much as it has to be heard, which is often about your audience just as much as it's about you. But more than that, an apology isn't a word. Apology is proof of a changed action. And people need evidence of that, you know, and that's hard to prove in a very quick TikTok video. This creator said something really elitist the other day, something that could make people feel like Pilates wasn't for them, which is silly in and of itself, but it shows you just how much TikTok and social media can often gentrify and redline everything, even a practice like Pilates. Now today she's put this walk back out, you know, this sort of semi-apology, and immediately you know it's just not going to land. And like, I didn't need to check the comments, but I did, and they proved me right. The thing is, right, a true apology is one of the most powerful things in the world. Like, not just for the person receiving it, but for the person giving it. Knowing why you should be sorry is probably more important than being sorry.
Did anyone else see that influencer's post where she basically says that if a Pilates class has black or brown women in it, it's because it's not luxury and it's cheaper, and that luxury classes aren't going to be diverse, and that's like going into Bottega and saying, where's the diversity? Was it just me that saw that?
Hindsight is always 2020, and I see how my words contributed to that narrative. And even though that wasn't my intention, I know that intention doesn't erase impact.
That was ChatGPT at its worst. Like, you could see the words coming out of her mouth didn't connect to her eyes. There was no brain-mouth connection. She was just saying words. I can't believe that gobbledygook, she watched that back and went, yep, that completely does it. That fixes things. She didn't address anything in the original video. Like, I wanted to hear her talk about the legacy of Pilates. I want to hear her talk about how she misrepresented its origin. Intention doesn't erase impact. No, girl, you said what you intended to say. Diversity means cheap. Because of the legacy that is Pilates and the hours it takes to become a Pilates instructor, we shouldn't expect cheap, aka diversity. That video is exactly what you intended it to be, because you started it off by saying,
This is going to be an extremely hot take for my
and you
Pilates
gave us the
girls.
hot take. It was so hot, you burned yourself. But I somehow find the apology even more insulting than the original video, because it was like lazy. At least the first one was just stupid.
So we pull out the minority card when it's convenient? Noted. Deleting the video doesn't delete the message. You can't build your brand on saying Pilates should be accessible to everyone, then post that it doesn't need to be diverse. Because when you say that, people hear, so I don't belong here. Then when the backlash comes, suddenly trying to unite instructors of color. The word of the week is accountability. That's not accountability, babe. It's called damage control. You said what you meant what you said. Stand on that shit.
Pilates by Raven video is extremely contradictory, and that's why it's upsetting to people. Use words like inclusivity, proximity, diversity, and things like that. And then she also said that it was her mission to make Pilates more diverse and more accessible. Then she also compared it to Bottega Veneta, and that threw everybody off. Now, do I think she should be canceled over this? No. She said it was a hot take. Confusing hot take, but it was a hot take. But here's the thing. Pilates is tied to exclusivity. The classes are expensive. The studios tend to be in wealthier neighborhoods. The equipment itself can cost thousands of dollars. At Lifetime, with a full membership, you can only go to Pilates twice a week. That doesn't make it very accessible. And that's at a luxury gym. That's why when she talked about making Pilates more accessible and saying that was her mission, people became glued to the screen, because it is an important conversation to have. A lot of people would love to do Pilates, but it's just really out of their budget. When you market it like a luxury handbag, it sends the opposite message that you were trying to convey. Don't ever get it twisted. Bottega Veneta represents exclusivity and wealth, not inclusivity and access.
Did you guys see this video? Basically this girl, Pilates by Raven, that talks about how Pilates is not supposed to be cheap, it's not supposed to be diverse. And she goes on to compare it with how if you walk into a Bottega thinking legacy, craftsmanship, design, everything is handmade, you're not supposed to feel diverse or anything with it. Essentially what she's tying into is that diversity equals cheapness, which I have so much problems with. And what I'm glad is that a lot of black women that practice Pilates, that teach Pilates, that own their own Pilates studios, have actually been like, hey, did you know that Joseph Pilates, the creator of Pilates, actually founded the exercise in a prison cell? And not only that, people go on to further say that only 2 instructors that he ever gave certifications to were people of color, more importantly, women of color. And the thing that pisses me off about this too is that she starts her video saying that like her whole goal and her business model is to create accessibility. Well, no, it wasn't, because then you wouldn't be saying shit like this. And you know what? As someone that has worked in the luxury retail space, I worked at Barney's selling $90,000 handbags on the regular. Also having worked at an Equinox that was failing its numbers, selling $3,000 gym memberships, but I was able to bring them back. I am telling you right now, 1, don't be fooled at the fact that because it's branded as luxury, that it is actually luxury. Those people are also cutting their corners.
Do you think you're one of them? Didn't SK already show us the approximate distance between you and them? I thought that by this point we were already well informed that Raven, you are not one of them. For those who don't know, Love is Blind's Raven has gone on a rant about Pilates in relation to diversity and how basically it was never meant to be diverse. But because during Raven's video, she actually said that we should think critically. So to honor what we've been told, using your own school of logic, I'm not even going to incorporate the fact that Pilates was not created to be a luxury. It was made in jail for people who ain't having a lot of money. We're not even going to go into all of that stuff. It doesn't matter. I'm going to roll with your train of thought. And if your train of thought holds that a luxurious experience is defined in part by its lack of diversity, and that is what propels its exclusivity, and I were a person who were looking for a luxurious experience that is, again, in part defined by its lack of diversity, which would then make it more exclusive, why would I book that experience with you? You're the diversity. Like, what are you actually trying to tell us? Does this mean your classes are half off or something? Because if the diversity is what makes this experience less luxurious, why would I experience it with you? You're not one of them.
I told y'all last year when I went to the gym and seen that they had the different tier packages ranging from $25 all the way to $120 for different amenities, that they was trying to make Pilates a exclusive thing. I told y'all that. I've been told y'all that because the BBL was getting so popular and then the Ozempic thing was catching on a trend, that bitches had to find a new way to make themselves feel more special within existence. You know what this whole Pilates shit remind me of? This remind me of the way how when the whole Pretty Mommy Exotica 126 gmail.com trend died down, all of the lighter women shifted towards, oh, fuck with me in my tarot readings. Y'all know it's true. Y'all know it's true. Y'all know it's true because all of y'all was not here back in 2012. That was just a new thing to do to make yourself like feel like a it girl, since you couldn't feel special no more for being Miss Exotica pretty 266. So for y'all who don't understand the whole like Pilates thing and why it's trending, this is basically what I just gave with the example of the shift of spirituality and hitting the internet. That's what's currently going on with health and wellness right now.
Okay, so we're seeing what people have to say about everything that she said. I would love to hear what you think about it. Do you think that people are right to call her out, or do you think that she was trying to pass a message and was unable to deliver it? I would love to hear your own thoughts, so please leave your comments in the comment section. Like now, when I was watching her first video, I didn't understand how she was correlating luxury bag to if everybody can afford it, diversity and the rest. In fact, I felt like it's just saying that black and brown people cannot afford luxury bags, because I don't understand what she was trying to insinuate by relating Pilates and Bottega to diversity. So I don't get it. Then the second video, the apology video, it was like she was taking it as a joke. She was not repentant. She was just trying to maybe cover up for the backlash and just trying to do as if no, she's not really affected, or all the discourse has not affected her, but she just wants to make the apology. It didn't, in my own opinion, didn't feel like she genuinely understood why people were calling her out for the first video, but she just wanted to make the apology video just to make it, and then plug in our services, and then try to make it look like she's giving a platform to people who are unknown and they are people of color, they are women, to advertise themselves in the comment section. So I can see why people were attacking her for even an apology video. Because why would you want to say a form of exercise should not be diverse, it's classism, it should be for certain people? It just rigged, our statement was just reeking of elitism, classism, racism, and I don't know. And I'm like, why? It gave mean girl vibe to me. It gave, oh, you're not part of the group. We are the cool kids. We are the cool females. We are the cool people. And you should just stay at that side. And because looking at the history of Pilates exercise, you'd be like, of all exercises or form of exercise, that should not be the one that you're supposed to relate classism or racism to, because the person that started it because he was a prisoner of war, and so that other prisoners were not like doing well physically, and he said, okay, let me do this type of exercise so that it will help encourage healthy body and strengthen the prisoners. And now a exercise that was formulated because of prisoners is now the one that you are saying is for a certain set of people, probably white people, rich people, because from what she's saying, it does not look like every person of color can afford it. I don't get it. Maybe she wanted to say something, but she was unable to say her thoughts clearly so that people will get it. And I don't know. I just feel like it was a wrong message to send out. And maybe she did not comprehend that it was a bad message, because she definitely edited the video, she watched it and uploaded it. So maybe she did not see it as something wrong. But when people are now bashing her, she's saying, oh, maybe I said it the wrong way. But her apology video did not show that she really understood what was wrong with the first video. It just felt like she was trying to skirt around the issue. Anyway, I thought her take on the whole issue was wrong. I did not feel that she was sorry in her apology video. But I don't know what you guys think about it. Do you think that she was trying to pass a message but she was unable to pass it well? Do you feel like she was sorry about what she said in her apology video? Did you feel that it was a genuine apology video? I would love to hear your own thoughts, so please leave your comment in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to get subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.